Hi, I am Anmol, CEO and co-founder of the Future Animations. In this video, I am going to talk about some of my experience with some clients, and I am also going to explain the journey of how I got that client to how I finished the project. So let's get started with a case study in one of my first Pixar style animation that I have done for a client, which is Theo Arc. I'm not sure if you have seen that video or not, but if you haven't, I'm just going to add a clip so you can watch that.
Oh dear, it's time for lunch. Finish up what you're doing and come upstairs to eat.
I'll be up in a minute, Grandma. I just need to put the finishing touches on the flow transistor interface. That's right, Chippers. It's just you and me. We're going to find the answers to all our questions real soon. I'm so close. Just a few more.
So now you have watched that, I'm sure you guys have loved the video. You might be wondering what went into this to create something like this. But to create something like this, which I call Pixar style animation, it takes a lot of efforts. Well, just saying a lot of effort doesn't going to make you understand that how much time and effort it is going to take. That's why I am trying to walk you through the complete process that I have followed to do that animation. So we will be using Sam as name of the client because I just don't want to give too much information about the client. So let's call that client Sam. So this Sam came to me on upper profile of Rohit Thakur, who is the co-founder of the Future Animation. So this client came to his profile and sent the script. Then he only had the idea that what kind of animation he was seeking for, because this was the pilot project for him. And later he wanted to make few more videos. As we were going down the road with him, he asked us to give some suggestions so he can improve his story, because at the end of the video he wants some Pixar style stuff, and that's what we did. So we gave some suggestions to him, like he can add some crisp into the story so it looks good, and we can add some VFX so it looks even more well, like the characters are time traveling where they will go to the space somewhere like that, and then from there they will come back to the room. So we wanted to make that part because that will engage the audience more, since there will be VFX work, and whatever pleasing the eyes, audience is definitely going to watch it. So first we made character sketches. Of course, in any animation, character sketches plays a vital role because we do not make 3D models at the very first step. You may wonder why? Because doing revision in character sketches is a lot easier than doing revision in a 3D model, right? First, we made all 3 character sketches that are going to be involved in the video. Then we showed it to the client, and we definitely encourage them to ask us as many revisions as they want. Why? Because we just don't want to do a lot of revision at 3D model stage, because that is going to take a lot more time than it would have taken at 2D character sketches stage. So that's why we do a lot of revision at character sketches stage, and once that is approved, then we will start working on storyboard, which is video storyboard. That's what we did with this video as well. Although you might be wondering, then when will you do 3D models? Don't worry, alongside the storyboard, we will be already doing the 3D models of the characters, because that takes a lot of time in creating the texture, right UV map and everything. That's why we will focus on storyboard first, because that is quicker than 3D models. So second step would be video storyboard. While making the video storyboard, we ran into some challenges. For example, me and client had discussed that video is going to be approximately like 5 minutes, but when we ended up making the full storyboard as per the script the client has shared, it turned out to be 6 minutes and 15 seconds, which is a lot of addition. Why? Because if in animation, even 20-second extra is going to be a lot of frames. That's why we always try to avoid going out of the scope of work. Then we sent the client storyboard, although he liked it with some minor revisions, but the main challenge is he didn't know that which part to remove to make it in 5 minutes. Then again we discussed about the budget. For that video specifically, since this was my first ever Pixar style animation that I have produced, it costed approximately $8,000. I know that was less because now I usually charge $4,000 to $5,000 per minute, but at that time it was I think 2 years back. That's what I used to charge. Then I asked client if he wants to show everything, still is confused about how we can reduce the video length. I gave him some suggestions. For example, we can like tweak the scenes. For example, if character is explaining some stuff, we can shorten them up. If the character and other character, for example Theo and Sophie, are talking, we can reduce that particular scene and make Sophie come to the point more earlier than later, so that we can shorten them their conversations. This way we could manage to reduce the video length from 6 minutes 15 seconds to 5 minutes approximately. Then storyboard got approved finally. Then we got into 3D model stage. As I have said, 3D models work were going alongside. So then 3D models were ready and I sent to client, and he was really amazing. The message that he sent me was, I could not expect this would look this better. So yeah, he was definitely happy, so does me. Then we started the main part, which is animation. So for this project we have taken $8,000. With that we have divided the milestones in 4. For example, first step was character sketches, which was $2,000. Second step was storyboard, which was again $2,000. Third was 3D model, was again $2,000. And the fourth one was animation, which I am going to explain now. But I want to make it clear that since the milestone names are character sketches, storyboard, 3D models and animation, doesn't mean that that particular step is going to cost $2,000. It's that we are dividing that particular thing in 4 steps so that client doesn't have to pay entire 8,000 or 50%, which is 4,000, at just starting the project. They can start the project with, let's suppose, $1,000 or even $1,500 in a first milestone, which is a character sketch, and then they can increase the milestone for, let's say, $2,000 or $2,500 for video storyboard. And likewise we can go with all the milestones. Then we started doing animation. Of course, that took me a lot of time. When I'm saying a lot of, animation itself have taken me approximately 3 to 4 weeks. Apart from 3D models, video storyboard and character sketches. Those were done I think in less than 3 weeks, but animation itself have taken me approximately 3 to 4 weeks. Now, although client sees that there is only 4 steps, but behind the scene there are even more than 15 steps. Which is, before doing animation we have to do character rigging, we have to make sure that the scenes are ready, we have to make sure that all characters are rigged properly so that we can do smooth animation. So a lot of stuff is going behind the scene, but at front it will only seems that there are 4 steps. But I don't blame clients for that, because I just want to make sure that the process of working with me for any client is super simple. That's what I always focus on. So then I started animation, and after 2 to 3 weeks I sent client 3 to 4-second render so that he can approve the lighting setting and everything. Because if I render the whole thing and he says, okay, I don't like the lighting and I don't like the lightning that comes into the scene and all these things, it will take a lot more time. But this client was super happy with the lighting setting. Then I rendered the whole video and then sent to him. Although there was some revisions, because definitely there will be revision, right? This is not going to be like you will make a video and then send it to the client and then video will be done. It is not going to like that, right? Of course, when you are working with imaginations in animation, there is going to be revisions. And to avoid that, what I have done is, as you know, I always try to encourage client to send me revisions at storyboard stage for animation, right? Why? Because in storyboard we can do a lot of revisions, we can do a lot more changes than animation with a lot of ease, and definitely will be quicker than doing revisions in animation, right? So that's what I already did in the storyboard stage, that I have already asked client a lot of revisions, that we don't have to bother about revisions that would come at animation stage. There was minor revisions. For example, client didn't like lighting setting for few scenes, so that was not a headache for me because I only had to render few scenes again, but that was fine, because you definitely have to expect that in some videos there are going to be some revisions that will come at animation stage. So that's what I have expected as well. And then finally I finished the animation and he paid me the rest of amount. I was really pleased, although he said in his review that video took longer than expected, which I am really agree with him, because it's a creative process. Sometimes one scene can be done in a day or 2, but some cannot be done even for like 5 days, right? Because I just don't want to do it like a labor work, like I will just sit down, do some animation, send it to the client, he likes it or not, I will going to deliver the video. No, unless the video is not going to turn out to be good, I am going to keep doing it so that I can make it better. Although because now I have built a team and I have a lot of experience, that doesn't take me 4 or 5 days. Like I can do a scene in like few hours or maximum in a day, and then since I have a team, so I can do multiple scenes at a time, and then at the end we can club that together and can finish the video sooner. But when I started, it took me that much time. So that was my experience and my case study with a particular project which was used by the client for a pilot episode. Of course, client came again because he liked the quality and the audience that he has shown to also liked the video. So he asked me to make a second episode of that. I am not sure if you have watched that episode or not, because that is also on my YouTube channel. I will drop the link on my description. But yeah, I'm going to also make a case study on second episode later few weeks. I hope you like the journey that I have went through from starting the project and to finishing the project. I also hope that you find it informative. If you have, please hit the subscribe button. If not, then that's not a problem. See you in the next case study.